Welcome to a brand new day with Montivino Valentine. I am the co-founder of the Pride FX movement. Now, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe, hit the like button as well as the notification bell so that you do receive future videos we do have on this channel. Now, today we are looking at the review of the full wired VMJ system, and this system is by the VMJ group. Now, this is just a detailed review. If you want to see how to use the system, please watch the next video. Let's get straight into it. So the first thing we're going to do is just to review some things, and the first thing I'm going to say is that this system is a very recycled system. Now, we have seen the system before by Belly FX. We have seen this system by a few other good traders in South Africa, and the problem is that the system is just being recycled, and a lot of people are making money from giving you the same system and selling it at different prices. Some might be higher and others might be lower. But as we go through this, I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now, the first indicator is fully wired VMJ system FX number 1, and this, as you know, we would allow our DLL imports and we allow modification of signals on all indicators that we do use. Now, inputs, very simple to leave it as is. Colors, you can decide on the colors of the signals that you would like to receive. Now, many of you have already and seen this in the past. Okay, so what you can see is that we have two indicators that have popped up here, but we also have another one shown there. Now, if you look closely, it does relate to some of the systems we have done before. This is actually called the Perekoso system by Top Lesson. This company over here is the original creators of Perekoso. This is actually supposed to help you identify candlesticks by what they are doing. Okay, so a bear cross, it would show that the candlestick has closed as a bear cross as well as a bullish engulfing candle. Now, this is a very good signal giver, but at the same time it does give you false signals. Now, why I say it's a very good signal provider is because there's a lot of calculations done for this to give you a certain labeling for a certain candlestick. You'd get hammer, you get bear cross, you also get bullish engulfing as well as bearish engulfing. So it's a very good indicator to have, just to understand what candlestick patterns are you following. Okay, because there's a lot of pictures that explains to you what candlestick descriptions you are getting and what signals to take with that pattern of that candlestick. That is a nice thing if you have it on your chart, because you don't have to look or actually stress about it, because many people would not even know what to look for as a hammer or what to look for as a bear cross or what to look for as a bullish engulfing every single time over and over. Because, for instance, we would have thought this as to be a hammer, but if you look closely, it does not state it or label it as a hammer, because that is just what the human mind would have thought about it. Okay, so very interesting that the indicator is shown once again, but I didn't have a full indication of explaining what that indicator does in the past. So it is not VMJ's indicator, it is taken from another user. Okay, so let's look at the second indicator that VMJ fully wired has given you. Obviously, inputs, colors and visualization would have to be checked by you, but for this video, because I want to make it short, I just want to go through the video. Okay, so basically over here we do have an arrow giving us signals to buy or to sell. Very simple to look at. We can see that that is a buy, and we also have a sell over there. Now, how accurate this is obviously just to back test before you use something. Never just use something because you feel like using it, but it's also a nice indication to have some type of judgment when you are looking at maybe some analysis you have done and you just don't see the sell or the buy. This would be one of the validations if you are looking at analyzing the market yourself, as well as using an indicator to do that. So here we have a buy as well as a sell indicator. So very nice to have arrows as well as the bull and bearish crosses of the market, so labeling as well as a sell. So for instance, I would have taken a sell there because there's two confirmations of something happening. One is that the sell arrow appears, and then we have a hammer telling us that there is a reversal about to happen. And there's just a few more that shows that. Here we have a confirmation of a buy arrow and followed by a bullish engulfing, just to give us more confirmation on taking that trade. Now the thing about this is, we'll get into that later, but what you can see is that it does give you good confirmations when you are using the labeling as well as the signals together. If you do decide to use one or the other, you'd need more confirmation on what is going on. So let's move on to the next indicator, and that is to allow this DLL as well as allow external expert import. And when we click OK, we're going to get a strength index. Okay, what this tells us is basically, is the market in a strong uptrend, is the market in a weak uptrend, or is it in a consolidation phase, or is it in a downtrend, and how strong or how weak is the market depending on what we are given. Also, one of the indicators that has been taken a lot from other mentors, I feel like this indicator is very taken, it's actually very underestimated as well as underrated in the market, because this indicator does not give you signals, it does not give you a pattern to follow or a trend to follow, but it does give you an indication of where the market is heading. Now, most people, when they do trade, they look at indications where the market is selling. For instance, if you had a breakout of the market selling, but when you look at the strength index, it's telling you that the market is still going in an uptrend, for instance, then at least you know that at this point the market is giving you a false signal to take a trade in that direction. So very interesting and very good, but most people underrate this indicator because it does not give them a buy signal, it does not give them a sell signal, or a take profit or a stop loss. So that's the only thing I feel that most people underrate of this, because it doesn't do as much as what other indicators are doing out there. For instance, if I had a buy indicator over there where it's saying buy, and this thing told me that the trend is actually up and the market is in a strong uptrend, I would have taken it buy depending on what this indicator is telling me. So very interesting to look at when you are trying to take trades with that arrow appearing. Okay, so more confirmation means more that you would have a profitable trade. Okay, so more confirmations helps you a lot. And then we can move on to fully wired VMJ FX system number 4, and basically what this does is it gives you the Porocoso support and resistance level. Okay, now the one thing that most people do is that they only look at the red level as well as the green level. But just to break it more down, what this is supposed to help you with is to take a sell and to look at profit levels where you would like to see your trades being taken up. Now, many people, what they do is they'll enter over here and say that you can exit at this point. But what many people don't know is that the market also gives you a percentage on the side to tell you where you can take your profits. Okay, now that was the main phase of me going on top lessons and reading more about this in Russian, but you would have to do a translation to understand what this indicator does. Okay, I know Belly FX and VMJ and some other South African traders told you to take trades here and close it at the green, but what most people don't know is that the forex market gives you an exit point all the time. It's always giving you signals on when to close. Like for instance, if you started with a $100 account and you maybe took the signal over here, right? Let's say you take that signal over there. You would expect for yourself to close when the market gets over here. But what this does so well is that it tells you when to close on a $100 account. So for instance, if I had to take that trade, I would have closed when the market got to this point. And why is that? Because if we look at the percentage of the profit, I have made a 23% profit in the game. And if I wanted to continue taking trades in the zone, I would have taken my next profit over here, which is another 10% profit. But what most people do is that they expect only to close when the market gets there. But most of the times, these percentages actually helps you when you are trading, because you need that percentage of an exit for yourself. And we can dive deeper into that, but for this video I just want to focus more on the strategy and also giving it a review. Okay, and then the last but not least, we're not going to use the one on top, because there's a lot of problems with that, bringing up signals over time and over time. Okay, so the last but not least, we have seen this indicator again and again and again. What this indicator does is it looks for the highest point as well as the lowest point and gives you signals upon that, right? So even though this is the highest point, it does repaint a lot. Let's say this was the highest point at that time, so over here was the highest point, and once that level is broken, we'd have received a signal to go down. But it's not that simple as I'm making it look, but you would see this thing repaint over and over again until the highest point has been set, and then eventually the market decides to sell. So I wouldn't say a very good indicator to use, because you might blow your account continuously entering trades and waiting for the market to go down, whereas this indicator would repaint with every candlestick that goes higher and higher. Okay, so very interesting. So what do I feel about this system? I feel that this system has been recycled a lot in the market, and also it's very tiring to speak about this every single day, every single week, about the same system being used in the game, right? Because we have seen this from Belly, we have seen this from VMJ, we have seen it from many other South African traders, and they are selling it for a premium price when they are where they have gotten it for free, or even if they have paid for the system. I just feel that the system has been recycled so many times over and over that how many people haven't bought the same thing from the same from different people, but haven't complained about it. And the problem is, if you have spent 5,000 at Belly, and here is someone telling you I'm making profit from this system, but then you find out it's the same system just with a few added things. Like for instance, with Belly you do not get the bar over here, the strength index, as well as the signal giver over here, but you do get the same feeling around the system. It's the same system, there's no updates to the system. You are just fooling yourself by thinking that, oh, maybe this time it will be different. Nothing has changed about the system. Top Lessons released this system in the last 3 years. They have been trying to update the system, but nothing has been given so far. Better for you to check out when you buy a system, what website did they buy it from. And so interesting that all the things that's on my chart currently has been reviewed and has been used over and over again. So please guys, be careful of what you buy. Try and find an image of something that you're looking at. So for me, this is a 0 out of 10. I won't be giving credit to Belly, I will be giving credit to Fully Wired VMJ because of the system being recycled over and over. But I would give a 10 out of 10 to Top Lessons for creating such a perfect system. That's it from me. Have a wonderful day. Montivino Valentine from Pride FX.